subject. That's how I feel. It's a shit stout.
Smells like whiskey now.
Give me this. That shit's strong. Goosebumps. Reader beware. You're in for a scare. Here's number 9. Welcome to Camp Nightmare. Billy is going to summer camp. He's 12 years old. His parents are both scientists. He doesn't disclose what type of scientist, but he's going to summer camp for the first time ever. It's called Camp Night Moon. So he's on a bus with all these kids. You meet all these kids, and instantly you really feel like you don't give a fuck about any of the characters. 60 pages in and couldn't remember the goddamn protagonist's name. So they're on this bus, and there's boys and girls on the bus because there's a Camp Night Moon for boys and a Camp Night Moon for girls, right? So they keep them separated because that's the way you prevent pregnancy, just like the Puritans taught us. Grrr. Am I drunk? Is this real life? They finally get to the fucking camp. Let's just skip a bunch of bullshit. They get to the camp. It's like Camp Crystal Lake sort of set up where everybody has bunks and there's a lake. And I've never been to summer camp, but I assume it's as stupid as all this shit is. All these boys, the 12-year-olds with prepubescent, like, oh, look at me, I'm gonna get hair on my balls one day. Like that stupid bullshit. So they're teasing this one kid named Mike. And one of these fuck kid number 4, finds snakes. And he throws snakes in the bed. In Mike's bed. So Mike goes to get in bed, and he pulls back the cover, and there's 2 fucking snakes there, right? And they're like, or whatever the fuck snakes do when I'm not drunk. They bite the ever-living fuck out of Mike, right? And they're like, what do we do with the snakes? And there's this whole, like, 4-page debate, and meanwhile, Mike is just getting really fucking pale, and he's like, I don't know what to do with snakes. So they finally convince Mike to go see the nurse of the camp. We haven't met anybody yet, but there's got to be a fucking nurse. Meanwhile, their counselor comes in. The counselor's like a 16-year-old kid named Larry. And everybody's freaked the fuck out. And Larry's like, what's the matter with you guys? Oh my God, what's the matter with you guys? Because in this, Larry will be played by John Travolta. Oh my God, penis. It's so great, right? Oh my God.
It's the worst John Travolta I've ever heard.
Oh my God, why would you be so insensitive? Oh my God. Billy and all the kids are like, Mike got bit by a snake, but it's cool. He went to go see the nurse, and Larry starts laughing, and he's like, ha 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 ha. And everybody's like, why the fuck are you laughing? Much less like that. And Larry's like, because there ain't no nurse. Oh my God. So the next morning, they meet the head of the camp, and his name's Uncle Al. So Uncle Al is telling them this is a very different camp. Every day he wants you to write home a letter to your parents. If you need to call all your parents, there's one phone on the premises. Everybody's allowed to use it. And he tells everybody where it is. It's a big red fucking phone. You can't miss it. Oh my God, it's on the side of a fucking... My nuts just exploded from this story. Why are my pants undone? My pants been undone all day?
That's what Goosebumps does to you, baby.
What Glenn does to you. Mike is there, and his hand is like fucking swollen like a big, baseball glove. And he's like, I think I need to see somebody. So he walks up to Uncle Al, goes talking to Uncle Al. Uncle Al walks away with him for a second, right? The rest of the kids carry on their business. They're doing activities. They're playing stickball. They're going swimming, all this shit. And Billy shows back up into his like cabin. And all of Mike's stuff is gone. And he's like, where the fuck did Mike's stuff go? Sorry, whiskey. They have another like meeting, and Uncle Al tells them, you can go anywhere you want, but make sure you do not go to the forbidden bunk. And everybody's like, why don't go to the forbidden bunk? And he's like, just don't go to the forbidden bunk. So the next night they have tent night. So they're all gonna go out into the woods and camp in tents and all that shit. They go out camping, and Billy's hanging out with Colin and Jay, I don't know, some boy band names. Hey, let's totally go to the forbidden bunk. It'll be so awesome. And Billy's like, I don't really want to go to the forbidden bunk because the first name of it's forbidden. Oh my God, you're such a little loser. Go to the forbidden bunk with us. And he decides he's going to go back to the regular bunk, not the forbidden one, but the very much bidden one. I'm drunk. I don't want to go on anymore. And all of a sudden he hears this fucking scream. And he's like, what the hell was that? Are their names Colin and Jay? Are they Ralph and whatever the fucking two lizard guys' names are. I don't even remember what they are. One of those fucks comes running, and he's like, "Oh my god, the monster in the forbidden book got him. It tore him to pieces." And Billy's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" He's like, "We went to the forbidden book. There were two of us. Note, there's now only one of us because the other one is now dead." So they go to Larry, and they're like, "Hey, one of us has been brutally murdered. Can you do something about that?" And Larry's like, "I don't know what you're talking about. You guys want to go play some guitar?" So they're playing a game of stickball, and there's another kid. I don't know his name, so let's call him Fart Fuck. And Larry's pitching. And Fart Fuck starts making fun of the way Larry's pitching. Billy's playing like shortstop. So Billy is looking at Larry being teased. And Fart Fuck is up to bat. Larry draws back to pitch. And then Billy sees the look of anger on Larry's face before he throws to Fart Fuck, right? So Larry throws the ball and intentionally hits Fart Fuck in the back of the head. And it explains in the book how Fart Fuck's skull cracks and he just drops down to the ground and his eyes start rolling in the back of his head. And Larry's like, "It was an accident. It was totally an accident. It was. I'll take him to Uncle Al. I'll take him to Uncle Al." So him and two other kids take Fart Fuck to Uncle Al, right? Fart Fuck never comes back. The next day, they have like a swim day, and Billy's like the last one to go. Somebody grabs him and drags him into the bushes. And it's these two girls that he met on the bus when he was on the way here. I think their names are Dory and Dorette. I don't give a shit. People keep disappearing from the girls' camp. And Billy's like, "Oh my god, people keep disappearing from our camp too. We have to get together." And Dory and Dorette are like, "We'll come back to your camp the day after tomorrow, and we'll figure out an escape plan." And Billy's like, "Yeah, let's do that." And then they fuck off. Then Billy's like, "I'm gonna go use the phone and call my parents to let them know what's going down." The big red phone on the side of this cabin, walks up to it, grabs it, and realizes, holy shit, this is a plastic phone. It's not even real. And as he's like realizing that, he turns around, and there's Uncle Al like, "What are you doing?" And Billy's like, "I was gonna use the phone." And Uncle Al's like, "Were you? How quaint of an idea." So Billy decides he's going to write a letter. So he goes back to his cabin. He starts writing a letter, right? So then, as he's writing the letter, the kid with PTSD is in there. And the kid with PTSD is going to write a letter too. But at the same time, he's like, we're going to go on this hike, this 3-mile hike in a couple minutes. And Billy's like, I didn't know about a 3-mile hike. And the kid with PTSD is like, "Oh, you must have not been invited. I know I was. That's weird." And Billy's like, yeah, that's really fucking weird. Don't go on it." And the kid's like, "No, I like hiking. Hiking can be really fun, right?" So another counselor named Frank shows up to take PTSD kid out for a hike. So PTSD kid leaves. Billy finishes up writing his letter, and then he walks to the mailbox, which is located on this part of the shower tile, right? So if this is Billy's cabin, this is the mailbox. Billy walks to the mailbox. See how that logistically works? So Billy walks to the mailbox, and normally there's a lady there to take the mail. He shows up, the lady's not there, but he sees a big bag of mail behind the fucking counter, so he walks around to put his letter in it himself, right? He opens the bag, and it's full of fucking letters, and instantly he recognizes one of his letters. So he starts digging through it, and it's all of his letters. None of the fucking mail has been mailed out. Mike is gone. Kid that got hit in the back of the head made retarded. Gone. Kid that got eaten by monster. Gone. 3-How Mike kid never shows fucking back up.
I'm tired. I'm drunk. And I had too much Fresca.
He goes to sleep, wakes up the next day, and there are 2 new kids like looking at him. And Billy's like, "Who the fuck are you guys?" And then a counselor comes to grab them for the canoe trip. So Larry grabs Billy and the 2 new fucks, and they all go to a canoe trip, right? And Billy's been suspicious about Larry this entire time because, Larry tried to kill one of his friends with a goddamn baseball. So they go on these rapids, and they're having a great time. It describes it's pretty fun or some shit. I don't know. I don't like activities. All of a sudden, massive water. One of them falls. Larry falls out of the fucking canoe. And then, so he's drowning. And all the other 2 kids are like, "Oh, what do we do?" And then Billy's like, "Fuck it, I got this." Grabs Larry, pulls Larry out. But by the time he's gone, the other 2 fucks are gone with the canoe. And they've like completely disappeared. So Billy's like, "I got you, I'll tote you to the shore." So the next morning, Uncle Al like wakes everybody up because like, we're doing a hiking trip. And Billy's like, "No one told us about a hiking trip." And Uncle Al's like, "Did I fucking stutter, boy?" All the kids that are left get together and they do a hiking trip. And they're walking through the woods, and all of a sudden Uncle Al stops, and he distributes all these giant fucking sacks to all the counselors, and they start emptying out the sacks, and they're shotguns, and they start giving shotguns to all the 12-year-old kids. And Billy's like, what the fuck are we doing? 2 girls from the other camp have escaped, and we're trying to make sure they don't get away. And Billy's like, can we talk about that one more time? By shooting them? And Uncle Al's like, yes, by shooting them. When the fuck do you think I handed you a gun? And like all the counselors start laughing, and Billy's like, no, but for reals, we're gonna shoot them? And Uncle Al's like, yeah, for reals, we're gonna shoot these bitches. And Billy's like, I can't do this. Like, no, I'm not gonna do this. And Uncle Al's like, what did you say to me, boy? And Uncle Al leans back. Slow clap. And everybody else starts cheering and laughing and clapping. And then all the dead kids show the fuck back up. And then his parents show up. And Billy's like, am I dead? And he's like, no, remember your parents are scientists? Well, this has all been a scientific test. And the parents are like, well, we wanted to take you on our next exploration journey, but we needed to make sure that you were able to survive in any sort of environment. Well, we're going to the most dangerous place we can think of. Earth. That shit's stout. Want some? No. Nobody wants some. Oh. Like, I was hoping it was a camp where teenagers just got to kill kids. I was hoping that was going to be the dark twist that it made. But the ultimate thing was, I didn't give a shit about any of these little fucks at all. Like, they were just fuck 1, fuck 2, fuck 3. That's who these characters were to me, because there was no character development. There was cool stuff going on in this book. Like, kids disappearing from a camp, that's awesome. It's Friday the 13th, but younger. That's cool. Sleepaway camp, but like with different spins and shit. And I'm totally cool with the twist, but it's all a test. Totally fine with that. It's just, it feels that it was written in crayon on a fucking napkin at Subway. I'm drunk. I shouldn't have drank all the whiskey. I shouldn't have done it. And Trevor was like, don't do it. It's a bad idea. Just drink the Fresca. That'll be funny enough. But I'm like, no. The fans want more, Trevor. The fans want so much more. And then...
Yeah, all 5 of them.
Yeah. If I had to rate this book, I wouldn't. I would just like set it down and say this whiskey bottle is my dick. It's the appropriate size. Ask my girlfriend. And it's actually shaped like this and also intoxicating. You can also take the top of my penis off. So, if that book was there, I'd just be like... but not to show it love. Just to be like, fuck you. You're a dirty tramp. You're a dirty book. Dirty, dirty, dirty. That's what I would do. I would give this book mushroom tattoos with my dick. With my giant bottle-shaped dick.